Hey guys, it's Alina here, and today I have my August monthly favorites. So before we get started, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you love monthly favorites videos and you want me to keep doing them, because I'd be happy to do that. And let's get into this. So if you've never seen a monthly favorites video before, it's just all the items that I've been obsessed with for this month, whether it be hair care, makeup, miscellaneous. I'm kind of all over the place, especially this time around. I didn't do a July monthly favorites because I found that I was really obsessing over the same items that I was in June. So yeah, I just didn't do a July monthly favorites. I try not to do a monthly favorites just to do one. I like to have some items that are new to my regimen. So I've been kind of forcing myself to play around with some of my other stuff because I tend to get really attached to items that I know I love and that I know work for me. I'm sure you guys are the same. So let's get into it. So recently I decluttered my nail polish collection, so I've really pared down my collection quite a bit, and I'm sure my family members are pretty happy about that because they got to indulge. But I did pick up a new nail polish, and it really reminded me how much I love this particular line of nail polish. I had pretty much every single color, but I hadn't used them in a while, so I had to get rid of a bunch of them. And it is the Sally Hansen Insta Dry line. So this shade is one of the new ones I got. It's called Sandstorm, and it's a really pretty neutral, like light nude color. I find that a lot of the neutral, like nude shades tend to be very, I don't know, they just look like baby diarrhea. They just have a little too much yellow pigment to it. This, I would even say this is like a grayish. It's just very neutral. It kind of looks like a foundation color, which I like. Really great, dries quickly, and this stuff is no joke. I forgot how much I love this stuff. I've been using Butter London and a lot of, you know, higher end brands for nail polish, and they chip within like a day or two. This probably went a good 4 or 5 days before it was like, okay, you should probably paint your nails another color. For me, I think it's probably the best other than Il Mascara, which I also find lasts a long time for me. Really decently priced, it dries fast, a great line of nail polish. So next up is mascara. So the Benefit They're Real mascara has been in the favorites before. The other one is the Smashbox X-Rated mascara, which is one of their new ones. This mascara in particular gives a lot of drama, and it is a very wet formula. Combined with the applicator, I'll show you. So you can see like it can be pretty gunky if you don't know what you're doing. You really have to kind of wipe off the applicator a little bit, you know, on the edges before you apply it, but it gives a lot of drama. I love it. Benefit They're Real. This is just always going to be amazing. I always get compliments when I'm wearing this one. Lately, this combination together has been my favorite. I'll apply this one on the top and the bottom lashes, and then this one just goes on the top lashes for that last coat, because this is not as wet of a formula, and I find that if this got a little gunky in the top, the Benefit They're Real applicator helps kind of comb it out as well as give even more vavoom. I'm not wearing false lashes today because I wanted to specifically show you guys like what that combination does. I mean, obviously false lashes are going to be way better, but as far as getting like nice looking lashes with just mascara and no falsies, I've been loving this combination lately. This next makeup item has been a favorite of mine and a part of my daily routine, probably years. And the reason why I was thinking to myself, I haven't mentioned this in a favorites video for a very long time, is because a lot of you guys in my 5,000 subscriber giveaway were commenting that this was your favorite makeup item. And I was thinking, wait, it's one of mine too. Why haven't I talked about it? And it's the Balm's Mary Lou Manizer, and it's their highlight. They've got 3 different kinds, but this one I feel is the only one that they have that's a true highlight. The others have a lot more of like a reddish or pink pigment to it, so not really gonna be a good thing for everybody. So that's what it looks like. It's a very champagne-y type highlight. It does really good for highlighting but it's not so shimmery and it's not so intense that if you were new to makeup, you could really go wrong with it. It's buildable. It's got a nice, pretty sheen to it, but not super crazy glittery. It's just a nice highlight. I like it a lot. I love the balm. I love pretty much everything they do. And I especially love their packaging. It's just always so clever. And it almost tells a story. They do more than what most brands do, and I feel like they don't get enough credit as far as the creativity part of it. I have one brush favorite this month. Obviously, the brushes and the Real Technique sponge and all the ones that I use all the time, they're favorites all the time, but I've talked about them before, so I try to mention something new in each favorites. And this is the Sephora Pro Angled Liner Brush. It's number 22. So it is an angled liner brush, but I've actually never used it for eyeliner. I should probably get another one to try it as an eyeliner brush. I got this specifically to clean around my lips or clean up my wings with concealer, and that's why it looks like it has concealer on it, because it does. I find this brush is amazing. Absolutely love it for that. I should try it with eyeliner, but I'd probably have to get a separate brush just because I find that, I mean, if you're trying to clean up with concealer, last thing you want to do is accidentally get some eyeliner smudged up in there. So the palette I've been obsessed with probably since my birthday is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I was really hesitant about this palette. When I swatched it in my first impressions video, I was not sure that it was something that I would ever care for. When I'm home, I tend to stay in my comfort zone and use the palettes that I know work for me, especially if I, wake up late and I'm wanting to film that day. I just go for the colors that I know are gonna work. And that doesn't usually include a palette that I swatched and I'm not crazy about based on the swatches. So what I do in that case, whenever I go on a trip, especially if it's a trip just for leisure and it's not something that I'm going to be going to beauty events or doing something work related, I'll take those new palettes that I'm concerned about on that trip, and I'll only take those. And what that does is it forces me to just use those palettes and see if they are workable on their own or see if they're just worthwhile in general. It's like an immersion for palettes. So I actually did this last year when I went to Boston for my birthday, beginning of July, with the Lorac Pro 1 and 2 palettes. And that's when I realized that neither of those palettes for me was a standalone palette. I found that the colors were very different. This year, I took the Lorac Pro 3 palette and this palette. Ended up finding out that I hated the Lorac Pro 3 palette, which is interesting because in the first impressions, I loved how it swatched. So just because something swatches amazing doesn't mean that you're gonna love it when you start to actually use it, put it into practice. The Lorac Pro 3 palette had ridiculous fallout. And I'm not talking about a little bit fallout because you know what, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm gonna put powder all over my eyes and not expect anything to fall out of it. It's just not gonna happen. It's gravity. It's not gonna happen. But this was insane. A crazy amount. Crazy. But this palette was my savior because after trying to use Lorac Pro 3 and getting just crazy amounts of fallout all over my face after I'd already done my face makeup, I was scared to use it the rest of the trip. So this was my saving grace. An amazing, amazing palette. I especially love this color, and this color. Even these were awesome too. So I found that those reddish burgundy tones were such a nice shade that, a lot of times if you try to put like a reddish pinkish color under your eye, like to line the underneath of your eye, you just look sickly. But the tone in these specific ones I found was very, very flattering and didn't make you look like you had some sort of pink eye. So really, really nice. I loved this palette. So I just thought I would update you guys on that and let you know that this is my favorite for the month. All right, moving on to lippies. I've got 4 lippies this month. The first one is ColourPop's Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Alyssa, and this is a part of the Kathleen Lights collection. It's a really, really pretty pinkish shade. I don't even want to say pinkish nude shade. This is the color that I was wearing in my 5,000 subscriber giveaway that many of you guys kept asking what was on my lips. It's this color. And the interesting thing is, I find that the newer ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip, I haven't bought any recent Ultra Matte lips, but I found that I think they changed their applicator. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. The applicator tends to be like a little fuzzier instead of being so, I guess, not fuzzy. So I find that it picks up a lot more product and applies a lot nicer. I'm digging it. The next one is also an Ultra Satin Lip from ColourPop. This is in the shade Panda. See, look, you can see here. This applicator, I don't know if you'll be able to see the detail, but it's not at all fuzzy compared to the one that we just saw. So Panda is a really pretty darkish pink, purple, I don't know, a really good shade. The next favorite is a Tartiest, I don't know, lip paint. So I have an interesting story about these. So when the lip paints first came out, they're very pricey, so I couldn't go and buy all the shades, but I thought, okay, I'll buy 4 shades and try them out and give my opinion to you guys. So I guess in moving things around and whatnot, I forgot about them, and I found them a few weeks ago and finally tried them and was so bummed out that I had waited this long because they're amazing, especially this shade, which is TBT. They're just so creamy and so amazing. So we have it right here. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. And the last lippy is one of the Urban Decay New Vice lipsticks, and it's in the shade Violate, which is a cream shade. I find that this is a very nice everyday color. I always get compliments when I wear it. It's really pretty. It's like a pinkish shade. It looks mauve in the tube, but it comes out a little more pinkish. So those are the lippies. Moving on to hair items. This has been in a favorites video so many times, but I reach for it so much that I have to mention it every few favorites videos. And it's the Garnier Fructis Dry Shampoo. I cannot live without dry shampoo, and this is the one that I find is the most affordable and works really well. I get it on Amazon delivered to my house every month, like clockwork. I love it. The other hair care item is something new that I've started to incorporate into my routine, because I find that I've been getting some product buildup, because when you have your hair a funky color, you can't wash it as much, and the shampoos that you use aren't going to be those crazy intense harsh shampoos, so you need to incorporate a clarifying shampoo. So my stylist recommended this one. It's the Redken Hair Cleansing Cream, and it's a clarifying shampoo for all different hair types. What's nice about this is that it's more affordable than the other brand that I use, which is Pureology, but still really good quality. I find that this removes product buildup without making my hair dry and brittle. Of course, you're gonna use a conditioner after it, but I find that some clarifying shampoos are just way too stripping. I don't use this every time I shampoo, but I use it every few times. What I will say about this, and I almost don't want to tell you guys because I feel like if I don't tell you, then you'll have the same funny experience I did, but I'll tell you because I don't want you guys to have the same experience I did. So normally what I do is I put shampoo in my hands, I lather, and then I go like this and get it into my hair. I don't know, I'm not one of those people that puts it in one hand and just kind of plops it on. Do you guys do that too? Like, comment below if you like, you know, put it in both hands and then get in there. Well, the consistency of this shampoo is like very, very thick snot. So most normal shampoos, you go like this, you separate your hands, it's in both hands, and you get in there. This one, because of the consistency, what ends up happening is there's like a snot web that you basically hit yourself in the face with. And it's quite shocking. It's quite shocking when it happens. And yeah, so you gotta be a one-hander with that one, or just get ready to get snotted in the face. It's, I'm telling you, identical to really, really thick snot. And I know you guys are gonna be like, how do you know what thick snot is like? Don't try to be like you've never had a cold before, coughing up stuff. Come on, we've all been there. Okay, so that's what I had for hair care. For skin care, All I've got are my trusty Biore Deep Cleansing Pore Strips. So I know most people love these for the nose, but I get the combination pack. So with the combination pack, it's got 12 nose strips and 12 face strips. If you've never used the face strips, you need to get this. I will link it below. You would be surprised. You would be so surprised with what this pulls up from your forehead or your chin or both. It's quite alarming and will make you even more addicted to these. Might be gross, but I get some sort of sick pleasure from these and seeing what has been pulled out of my pores. I feel accomplished almost. So much fun. Best thing to do on a Friday night. Next up is the Milk Makeup Natural Deodorant. Some of you guys may have never heard of this brand. It's kind of a newer brand, kind of up and coming. A lot of people are starting to talk about it. I actually have only tried this product from this brand, and it's because I was looking for a natural deodorant. I've tried many natural deodorants before. I don't trust them. They don't work for me because I'm a sweaty gal and it's Miami, so it's hot and humid all the time. But because of my health concern that I'm dealing with right now, I have to eliminate as many toxic things in my life, and this is just something that I have committed to doing, using natural deodorant, even with going to the gym, even with all of that. And I find that whenever I've used natural deodorant, I never really give it more than a few days because I start to smell and I'm like, this sucks. But my hairstylist and her assistant both use natural deodorant, and they both told me you need to give it at least a week. Just give it a week and you'll see the difference. One thing that she did point out to me was that regular deodorant, like antiperspirant, how it works is it plugs your sweat gland. So if you've ever, like when you're shaving your underarms or whatever, that film that ends up being in your razor, that's buildup of the deodorant antiperspirant. You can imagine that that buildup could be kind of a haven for bacteria. So I feel like when you start to use the natural deodorant, what's happening is you're applying it basically onto that buildup. It takes a while for that buildup to break down. So the natural deodorant's not really getting an opportunity to actually get to your skin. Now that I have gotten rid of that buildup, shaving my underarms, super easy because there's no buildup. My razor comes out completely clean. It's opened my eyes, it's crazy. Yes, I still sweat because it's not an antiperspirant, it's not supposed to be, but I find that I don't really smell all that bad. For the most part, I do just fine with this natural deodorant. I go to the gym and all that. After the gym, you just shower. It's not a big deal. Sometimes if it's a really long day, I will baby wipe up in there, just kind of pat it dry and then reapply this. I'll take it with me and all that. It's got a really nice lavender scent, which I love. And I actually chose this one specifically because it had a lavender scent. A lot of people like the La Vanilla natural deodorant, but the smell of vanilla makes me want to throw up on everybody. So I just wanted something different. So that's why I ended up trying it. I really like it. It's obviously a little more pricey. I think it's $14, but I've been using this for, I would say at least 6 weeks, and I'm not even close to finishing it. I got a long way to go. So it's not something that's gonna run out like crazy, and it's also small enough that you could throw it in your purse or your book bag if you wanted to take it to school. It's definitely doable to use natural deodorant, but you do have to give it at least a week, and your body definitely adjusts for sure. And honestly, with the regular type of deodorant antiperspirant, I was still sweating, so what was the point of using those toxins if it didn't actually work? So now on to some other, we're getting to a little more miscellaneous. You guys are gonna laugh on this one. My silk cap. My silk cap. So my friend Anna Bell told me about wearing a silk cap because she wears it when she's got a nice hairstyle that needs to last. So the silk cap helps maintain the hairstyle. But I had been doing a lot of reading, and it turns out that regular cotton pillowcases, they tug onto your hair. It causes your hair to become more knotted. If you have more delicate hair, like I do because of the bleaching and all that, if you have highlighted hair or whatever, you might benefit from wearing a silk cap to sleep. It looks completely silly, but it doesn't cost a lot of money, and I find that it really helped me. My hair is less tangled in the morning, and I don't know, I find that I don't have as much breakage. Could all be in my head, but it doesn't hurt. I will leave a link to this specific one because it's pretty inexpensive. Next item are these shades. So normally I don't like reflective shades or this kind of more aviator type look, but I'm trying to branch out from my usual. So I picked these up from Target. So they were under $20. I love Target sunglasses or Target anything, absolutely love. And I've actually really grown to love these sunglasses. I've been wearing them a lot lately. And I just especially wanted to show you guys because the reflective sunglass trend is very in right now. And just to show you guys that you can be a part of the trend and not have to spend hundreds of dollars on a pair of sunglasses that you might drop, lose, get stolen, etc. So the next item is my headsets from Beats by Dre. So I had always wanted a pair of these, but they were so expensive that I just never really went for it. And I was just like, how amazing could they be? But last year when I got my new laptop, because I got it in the summertime, Apple always has different promotions for back to school. And when I bought the laptop, there was no promotion, I guess, at the time, or it wasn't obvious. But then I got an email from Apple saying that because I had bought a laptop in this time frame, that I was eligible to get a free pair of Beats by Dre, like I could pick the color. At first I was like, this is probably not real, like maybe this is a scam. I like looked into it and I was just thinking, whatever, I'll just pick out the ones that I want, and if they don't arrive, they don't arrive, but they did arrive. I find these to be so amazing when I'm trying to edit, because if you have issues with paying attention, something like this would be monumental. Like if you have a hard time studying when there's a lot of noise, getting something like this and just listening to like music or whatever you want to listen to, it really blocks out a lot of sound and it just makes whatever you're listening to so much better. So I love it for editing because it helps me hear a lot of the background noise that you might not notice if you're listening to it without headphones. I don't know, I just think they're amazing. Next item is kind of random. It's really random. A pair of sneakers. I have never busted out a pair of sneakers in a favorites video because I've never really been athletically inclined, or haven't been for a few years. So these are the New Balance 775. I'll link the specific brand, but I just wanted to show them to you guys because a lot of people will have, you know, sneakers for running, sneakers for, you know, taking classes, sneakers for everything. I find that these sneakers have been amazing for everything that I'm doing, whether it's running or getting on the elliptical, taking hip hop class, Zumba, lifting weights. It's got good support, but not like, it's not a very bulky shoe. It's very soft, very flexible. The back part here is super cushioned. I have a pair of Saucony sneakers that I love, and then I bought a different pair, and I can't wear those without getting wounds on the back of my heels. So nothing's worse than a pair of exercise sneakers that you actually have to break in to not be in pain from. I just think that that's a little bizarre. They should kind of already be comfy as F, because why would you want to use them? So these are considered running sneakers, but I find that they've been good for just about anything. So if you're in the market for a pair of sneakers, these are really good.
Oh no!
Thank God I wasn't wearing like a nice pair of jeans and I'm just wearing pajama pants, because all just resting my hand there, I just stained the crap out of them. And it's been a while too. They should be dry by now. It's a little concerning. The last favorite that I have is a particular podcast. So I have issues with insomnia, so I have a hard time sleeping. But I found this particular podcast that is not only interesting, but the people in it have such soothing voices that it's really, really great to go to sleep. Although I feel like it gives me very weird dreams because of the content. And it's called Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. It's a podcast that's mainly about conspiracy theories. So I have always been a sucker for conspiracy theories. Not just conspiracy theories, but just crime stories or criminals and things like that. I like to know, and I like the detective part of it and whatnot. Always read that kind of stuff or watched that kind of stuff. So I'll just read you some of the topics that they did recently. WikiLeaks and the DNC, free Wi-Fi, gambling with your privacy, crime, kidnapping and organs, the red market. That one's a really good one. They also do like ghost hunters stories, ISIS recruitment tactics, Beyond Flint, the looming water crisis. They do so many good ones. I just wish that they would come out with a new one every single day because I just love it. I just love that podcast so much. And podcasts, I think they're all free, but even if they're not, this one in particular is free. Definitely check it out if you're in the mood to hear some conspiracy theories, or if you're looking for something more soothing to listen to when you're sleeping. That obviously it's not a television show, so it's not going to give you that bright light which actually makes you wake up. So those are my favorites for the month of August. Be sure to comment what your favorites were this month, because I just love to hear what you guys are into and potentially give me some ideas for new things to try. So I hope you guys enjoyed this month's favorites. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other videos. Hope you guys have a good one. See ya!